I never knew much of anime outside of Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Pokemon. You know, the mainstream ones. That was until 2013. One of my friends at school asked me, "Hey, have you ever watched Attack on Titan?" Attack on Titan? What the hell is Attack on Titan? Whoa! It really was the gateway for myself and a lot of other people to get more involved in anime, leading me to find some of my all-time favorites. I don't know what that one's doing there. That just must be a mistake. I mean, surely. You'd see at the conventions, people with backpacks at school, people wearing shirts in the street, memes on the internet. You could not escape AOT and its mainstream appeal from kicking down your walls with all its might. And for a good few months, it stayed this way, until the dreaded hiatus. And after a good few years, nothing remained of the fandom. Unfortunately, the boys at Wit Studios made this baby way too soon. I mean, way too soon. They were already caught up with the manga, and so instead of continuing the anime with their own story, which we all see how that works out, they rightly decided, let's just wait it out, who cares? So by the time season 2 finally came out, the hype was barely there. I don't think many people even knew this came out, even though season 2 was better, more intense, more epic. The excitement was just not the same. But luckily, after the glorious Season 3 Part 1 and Season 3 Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, it brought the show back to its former glory. However, it was nowhere near the mainstream appeal of Season 1, and after the insane quality of Season 2 and 3, it led people to rag on Season 1, in some cases even calling it bad, which just couldn't be further from the truth. So don't even comment that, you useless piece of... Now, is Season 1 better than 2 or 3? No. And that's not just me saying that. You can easily see how the IMDb reviews get more and more consistent as the series progresses, with Hero even getting a perfect 10. But what it accomplishes for the series is what made Season 2 and 3 so damn good. Without Season 1, the series would not be such a masterpiece. And I don't make that claim lightly, because I've started putting this in my top 5 anime list, and... Will you just shut up and get on with it? Okay, jeez, there's no need to yell at me! Now, before we talk about the important stuff, I think it's only fair to cover the season as a single entity instead of its collective genius. It was unanimously good when it first aired all those years ago, but after a while, people just really weren't feeling the season anymore. I myself would shrug off the whole anime as generic before I wallowed in the genius of the manga and became Big Brindle. Season 1 achieves its job. It gets us hooked within the first episode. We're instantly pulled in as soon as the Colossal Titan smashes down the wall. We're introduced to all our favorite characters such as Shonen Hero, Loser Virgin, Edgy Yandere, Cool Bro, Tall Bro, Lesbian, Corpse Face, and the rest. Yeah, that's a big problem with this season. Besides the main 3 and a handful of others, a lot of characters really aren't focused on at all. We don't really get any development besides our main cast, John, and the development of teenage girls' obsession with shipping Eren and Levi. Seriously, it was a real problem back in the day. It's not just the characters though. A lot of areas within this season feel really hollow. It's as if the rest of the series is a carefully crafted film that goes on to win the Oscar, or in this case the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Yeah, both of those are equally valued. Meanwhile, Season 1 is your run-of-the-mill Michael Bay film with exploding action at every chance it gets. I'm not gonna be a snob and say this is inherently bad though. If you're looking for an easy-to-watch thrill ride with some good fights, drama, a little bit of mystery, and a kid who screams way too much, then Season 1 is still pretty damn good. The animation and music alone is enough to make up for any shortcomings this season may have. It was a unique premise in a medium where we haven't seen humanity swinging around like Spider-Man to fight naked giants. So is it really fair to call this generic? But what's one of the most impressive things about Season 1 alone is the world building. Besides something like One Piece, I don't think I've seen better world building in a show before. From episode 1, it establishes a lot about the series that immerse you in a great way. For a start, it feels very real that this world is essentially trapped in medieval times. Being stuck in the short size of the wall obviously has limited supplies. And with the looming threat of Naked Boy McGee at every turn, I don't think anyone's priority everybody is gonna be making AirPods or Yeezys, and it keeps the world this way the whole time. What's more impressive is how the threat of Titans is built upon. From episode 1, what's the takeaway? Soldiers come home mentally destroyed, injured, or dead. Some soldiers are useless assholes. Oh look, there's some ducks. Oh, that's neat. Oh, and the threat of Titans is very damn real. And from that point onwards, the series builds and builds upon just how deadly these enemies are. We watch countless innocent soldiers and even main characters die. How many shows have the balls to kill off their main character this early in the series? Okay, come on, that was easy, I gave you that one. And Eren comes back, so I don't even think that comparison works. But hey, at least the Titans leave the animals alone, because they've done nothing wrong. The Titans are only set up to be so deadly because of the rules the world has set up early on, specifically with the 3D maneuver gear. Just like how Spider-Man needs the buildings of New York to swing around, the maneuver gear pretty much follows the same principles. And I'm not saying that just because they both swing, okay? That would be ridiculous. If there's nothing to grapple onto, you're not going anywhere. So on these big expeditions, if you're in an open field and come across a Titan, you are not going to be alive very long. It makes sense why the Survey Corps would want to get into the forest, so you know they could actually move around. With death around every corner, it builds the world to feel incredibly dangerous, and you honestly feel like any character could die at any moment. Besides Reiner, of course, because Isayama enjoys his suffering. To put it simply, the world makes sense, follows rules, and feels real. From simple stuff as meat being a rare luxury due to the limited amount of cattle the walls can hold, to the Survey Corps having a smoke signal system to alert threats of Titans or abnormals, to how come Bertolt didn't nuke the wall when he transformed right next to it twice, but in season 3 part 2 he obliterates the... You know what? Off topic. Point is, the world building of season 1 specifically is unrivaled in my eyes. But what's more impressive than how they build this world the characters live in is how they set up these characters the world lives in. Wait, no. See, a lot of shows will try to rush character development, throwing at us a bunch of characters who they then try to establish arcs for. And sometimes this can be overwhelming when you have to focus on Crybaby grow up, Anger Boy take anger management issues, Ice Boy learn to be Fire Boy. But Attack on Titan solves this problem by killing off half the cast. So yep, thanks for coming everyone. That's it. But no, in reality, what it does is start off every character very, very simple. I think to look at this best, we have to go to our main protagonist, Eren. I'm sure everyone has talked about how Eren is pretty damn annoying. Well, I swear it! I'm gonna kill all the Titans if the last thing I do- Eren, shut the f*** up! He's every generic shonen protagonist. He watched his mother get eaten. He couldn't do anything. So now, he has to get stronger and kill all the Titans. This is the most basic character you could create. But that's what's great about season 1. Eren starts off at the lowest point of being interesting. And what makes it even better is some of the characters will straight up call Eren out on a lot of his negative traits. He's cocky, ignorant, he's like a spoiled brat. Some people downright disliked him because of this. And the constant screaming. But Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can't have development if your characters are perfect from the start. So after all these horrible things that happen to Eren in such a short time span, it has a clear development on him. This is illustrated well in the fights too. In pretty much every fight, Eren gets messed up badly. Not many shows have your main character taken this many L's. It's embarrassing, but it fits into his character as he does not think before rushing into a fight blindly. Even rushing into his death after Wall Maria was breached. He rushes in angrily into Annie and gets pulverized. He rushes into her again and gets destroyed. And then he rushes into her a third time and actually kind of wins. Third time's the charm, I guess. This pattern stays up until season 2, where we start finally seeing Eren look at things rationally, and hey, he almost won a fight. And by the end of season 3, we can already sense the character he's about to become. Which us fellow superior manga readers are already aware of. But it's a huge turning point for the character. The ocean which he viewed with such childlike optimism, and what he viewed as true freedom is essentially a lie. lie. They still aren't free. While everyone else is stood there excited about this discovery, he seems rather indifferent. It's incredible to see Eren go from this little bitch who would always complain or arrogantly run headstrong into a fight, can now take on the Armored Titan with little ease and has the resolve to let his best friend sacrifice his life. Until he finds out he can resurrect him and has another classic hissy fit.
Attack on Titan is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
It's not just our main character though. Characters who in Season 1 were only set up to be likable have now had the room to develop and become truly complex characters. Reiner has gone from a very simple bro character to one of the most well written and tragic characters in anime. A character who's torn between his ideals, creating his Eldian persona along with his actual personality to live through the guilt of essentially killing thousands of innocent people, all built on the ideas of his twisted country. The same can be said for other characters like Armin, Historia, John, Sasha, but never Connie.
This dude got a bald head!
Some clearly have more focus than others, but the ones Isayama really focuses on have truly developed because they started off simple. And when a character starts off stupidly basic, it's a complete 180 when they actually become interesting. Now, this is the part of the video where it might sound a little crazy. Like, I'm talking flat earth crazy. I'm talking lizard people living in the sewer crazy. I'm talking Titans are human crazy. Oh wait. What I want to suggest is the reason Attack on Titan Season 1 seems so simple and basic compared to the rest of the series is because it fits the narrative. Let me get into this by explaining the lore, and I'll be careful not to spoil you anime-only peasants. Essentially, my theory, or at least what I like to think, is in Season 1 we're seeing the world through the eyes of a typical citizen. But what happened to the citizens of the Innocent Walls? King Fritz happened. King Fritz, using the Founding Titan, wiped the memories of everyone on the island, which made them forget about all memory of the outside world, leaving them blind on what secrets the world actually holds. Because of this memory wipe, I believe the early parts of Attack on Titan are overly simple to carry this feeling on. I mean, it makes sense. It's the same way I believe so much stuff is weird in Invader Zim because we're seeing the world through the eyes of an alien. The audience is a part of the brainwashing of King Fritz. And so, we are in the same boat as all our characters, which is why when we're eventually revealed these secrets, it's a huge shock, not just to our characters, but to us. We can feel the same sense of awe and surprise because we understand how it felt to be brainwashed. Okay, maybe this is just my crazy opinion, but Season 1 does give off that impression of looking through rose-tinted glasses. Of course, the roses are covered in blood because this world is horrible, but I can't shake off this feeling, and it would honestly be pretty cool if this was the intention. I won't write it off as factual by any means, but personally, I really resonate with the idea and think it holds a really good narrative for Season 1. So, that's why I think Attack on Titan Season 1 is genius. It may not be as good as the rest of the series, but for how people treat it, I feel it deserves to have a little respect put on his name. Not every series is gonna start off perfect, and this is only Isayama's real first manga. It's obvious he'd start off a bit rusty before improving and making the masterpiece we know and love today, but I also feel like so much of Season 1 feels too coordinated just to be a happy accident. I wouldn't be surprised if Isayama did everything I talk about in this video on purpose, but maybe I'm looking too deep into this and it's all just very coincidental. This is at least how I interpret a lot of things in Season 1, and maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, and think I'm a huge small brain, but no matter your thoughts, one thing is certain. That female Titan's kinda thick though.